I was a sneaker reseller. I won't chase the hype drops and quick flips. I'll play the long game. I'll be stacking pairs that nobody want now and cash out when people circle back later to buy pairs. So let me break down how exactly I would do this. Right now, I'm in a Nike clearance store at the Loop, one of my favorite clearance stores to go to. Matter of fact, it's probably the #1 clearance store you can visit, especially if you're looking for deals. This location is super huge, not only with clothing, apparel, outerwear, and summer gear, but there's rows and rows of shoes. In most clearance stores, you're gonna get shoes that doesn't have the lid. And keep in mind, all sales are final. But let me break down to you guys how I will resell shoes if I wanted to be a reseller. I think it's fairly simple, my personal opinion, but one caveat, you're definitely gonna need the capital. And for the love of God, stop chasing hype. Most resellers buy on Jordan release Saturdays and flip the shoe by Monday. Personally, that's a bit risky and inconsistent. We'll come through a few shoes in here and see what options we get. So we got some Panda Dunk size 12 hitting for $70. These are the mids. Right above it, the Camo Air Max 90s. These are going for $70. And we got some comfy walkers, the Pegasus 2005. And this colorway and the black, gray, silver. Wow, they got more Air Maxes. We got the red Air Max 1. These are hitting for $69.99. I'm curious to see when this shoe came out. I don't know if this was produced last year. This shoe was produced last year in 2024. So this shoe is well over a year old and it's going for $69.99. Let's say hypothetically this shoe doesn't go on sale. This would be a great item to purchase because a lot of people passed over this shoe and no one wants this. But for $69.99, I would pass. If this was a $50 shoe, I will go ahead and purchase. And the simple reason is to buy unwanted shoes that people passed up on that no one cares for. You can find items like these are the 2013s. These are going for $80. You got more of the 5000 Pegasus, 70, and you got this blue colorway, which I actually like. I'm not mad at this colorway. That's going for 80. You got some more DNs, super comfortable. I'm not a fan of the silhouette, but they're available. And the goal is to let people sleep on the shoes that no one wants right now. I promise you, these Vomero 5s, they'll circle back to cop. I would know because I remember Vomeros right around the pandemic. A lot of people was passing up on them, and I saw pairs as cheap as $29. No one wanted them. Now here we go. 3 years later, everybody's been buying them, 2024 and 2025. I like this colorway, but however, I think they're kind of guappy here. They're going for $79.99. Well, it could be a little bit cheaper if you find them in the factory stores. And my idea is not exclusively to the clearance stores. It could be factory stores, wherever you find great deals. So let people sleep while you stack. These dunks are going for $80. If this was a dunk phase like it was 2 years ago, this would have been a great deal. These would have been going crazy. 60 beans for those. Back then, dunks always been a permanent residence in the Nike factory stores and clearance stores. You see plethora of them. In 2015, 2016, there was more than we cared for. This color is unique, $69. Oh look, Air Max 90s, but these are Gore-Tex. These are going for $80. It's a bit expensive. You have the capital. This is a shoe I would invest in. Let's see when the shoe was produced. The shoe was also produced in 2024. So it's creeping up on a year old. A couple more months, the shoe will be extinct from the outlets. And if you purchase now, you will have pairs that you can flip 3 to 4 years from now, probably retail. This is not a bad colorway, and it's a collab with Gore-Tex. And for collabs, this is probably the ideal pricing. I may not find them cheaper than this. So the deals are out there, no doubt. But stacking smart is where most people mess up. Here's how I structure it, even with a tight budget. So you got to build inventory strategically. Low cost, high quantity.
I have picked up Kyrie 6 and the 7s for as low as $25. Even the Kyrie 2s used to sit back then, and now they're worth solid money. KD, I have grabbed them from $35 to $60, and some pairs are already climbing back up to retail. LeBron Witness models are hitting around $50 right now, and his signature shoes you can find for around $80 with 40% off. But when Bron retires, y'all gonna regret it. And the same thing goes for Paul George. The PG4s to the PG6s, easy finds for under $50. But now that his Nike deal is done, these prices are creeping back up. Let's not forget about Giannis and Jaws. Their early models may be sitting right now, but trust me, in a few years, folks will be hunting for those pairs.
And do keep in mind, Nike do limit you 5 per style. And because they limit you 5 pairs per style, you cannot get 6 pairs of these. If these was hitting for $50 and you want all 6, no way. You can only get 5 at max. However, you can come back the next day. If the extra pair is still available, you can pick that up. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, you're gonna need capital. Set a budget. For hypothetical, let's say we have $500 to play with. This is what I would do. You could pick up 10 pairs of shoes that nobody wants for roughly around $50. This pair is going for $39, but they got different colorway. And guess guess what, guys? If this pair is no longer available in a year or two, you can start selling them on year 4 after you purchase them. But maybe you're not familiar with this shoe, but you are familiar with the Witness. And as I mentioned prior, the LeBron Witness is rampant in these outlets. They're going for $50. You got the black colorway, you got this, I don't even know, wolf gray colorway, you even got a white color, all for $50, and even this raw blue. Once you retire, guys, I guarantee you people are gonna be flocking for this particular shoe. And you want to rinse and repeat that every single month until you garner 120 pairs. That's at the $500 budget, 50 per shoe for 12 months within that year.
So like I said, if you got a $500 budget and you can grab 10 pairs a month at $50 each, that's 120 pairs in a year. Focus on shoes nobody wants now, like the LeBron Witness line sitting for $50. Hold on to them for a few years, and when people start looking for them again, especially after LeBron retires, you're in a position to profit. Rinse and repeat, and over time, you'll build serious inventory without chasing hype.
If you got extra room to spare, you can also get these 180s. I actually like these black and orange stains. However, they're going for $69.99. They're not quite the $50, but if you know your product and you have a market for them, feel free. Here's the Janssen 6s that I speak of. These are going for 40 beans. LeBron 20s, I believe. Yep, these are going for 100. We got a whole bunch of LeBron next, which I'm not a fan of. These are 79. We got the different colorways. This is the Phoenix Suns colorway. And look, we got a sighting up 270s. These rarely ever go on sale and define for $80. That's not a bad deal. They're super comfy. We got more Giannis's. These are the free 6 as well. These are the, yep, they're going for $69.99. And 3 to 4 years, you have a stockpile or slept on heat ready to be doubled in value. So if LeBron retires and you pay $100 for this, you probably can get retail back to that in 3 or 4 years. But like I mentioned, you always need a capital. These 270s is not a bad price, going for $280. Another shoe that I have seen prominent in these outlets are these Attacks for $60. And there's so many different colorways. God knows when Nike will re-release these shoes again. I know they had a Travis Scott version or variant thereof, and that went crazy. But for the regular colorways, no one seems to be interested in those. Now here's some Jordans. These are the lows. I like the colorway. I probably would play ball in these. I like loud shoes on feet, but these are going for $160. I would not care so much for those. However, there's a plethora of them on top of the shelf. Not to mention they also got some LeBrons. Whoa, 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 whoa. Now, these are the LeBron 21s. This is another $100 shoe. Definitely different. Now, 4 or 5 years, I could see somebody requesting this shoe. It's definitely unique, probably ahead of this time. No one cared for this shoe right now, but that's how sneakers goes. Nobody want it until everyone has it. So for 100 beans, this could be a good opportunity. But guys, also don't be buying shoes just to resell. Buy shoes that you think is affordable, because this tactic, this strategy works for pretty much almost any shoe. Now, if it doesn't double, you definitely will get more than what you're paid, because you're preserving a shoe that no one cared for. And you don't got to trample nobody to get it, especially these LeBron 20s. These are hitting for $100 as well. There's a plethora of them. Like I said, find these at that price if you want to stretch your money. But with my $50 strategy, you can extend that to $100, but just remember, you're not going to buy as much quantity of certain shoes. But it's definitely worth it to buy shoes that you feel will sell through in 4 to 5 years. Pretty much any shoe, to be fair. Now, these are going for $100. These are the Jordan 39s. I am not mad at it. This is a refurbished version. I also have some Next refurbished. Not sure why, because these are going for $80, but you can get the non-refurbished Next probably for the same price, if I'm not mistaken. Here's the pair. Maybe a slight variant of it. It looks like this patent leather on this joint, but that's $80. Go back up. And this one was, nope, patent leather, same price. I ain't tripping. $24 slides. We got some Vapor Max drifts. We got the Luna foams or Luna runs. I got a pair on right now. Speaking of pair, I got the exact pair. And guys, I bought this at its lowest. I paid $40 for my pair. Now, this is a shoe. Like I said, if you would have bought it 3 months ago and they had plethora of sizes, a lot of availability, I could have bought 5 pairs of them. I literally could have made double, if not triple my money, because right now they want $129 for them. Imagine if I sold them for $100. I definitely would have doubled my money. But just to give you an idea of how you can buy shoes or hold on. Now, in about 3 or 4 years, the shoe is probably worth retail. And guys, keep in mind, you're investing $6K a year on future inventory, not on trends. This LeBron 22 is going for the all-time low of $59.99. Now that's cheap. And they got leftover pairs available. This is the 20, 169, kind of guappy, more of the same shoe. The next, more of the attack. And you got the equality. Now this is a 22 or equality. Nah, this actually is the 22. It's black, white, and gold. I am not mad at it. I actually saw these in the Nike employee store. I actually did a reaction video and I thought these were the next. Because the next have a colorway similar to this and it says equality in the back heel. But no, these are the LeBron 22s. It's not a bad colorway. And you're paying $80 for these. Not bad. I am not mad at it. Seems like I'm in the LeBron section. Let's continue to find more deals. I love my GT Cuts. It's a great basketball shoe. I like that colorway. Not only got those, they also got the 38s in the size 11 and a half, but they're hitting for $100. I apologize. These are the 39 and they're hitting for $100. These are the most recent Jordans. You can't find these in the foot traffic sites, at least not in my area. And I was told it's because they're reserved for higher markets like New York and Chicago. Apparently Florida is not considered a high market because the only time you'll find these 39s are in clearance stores, ironically, right? They're already reducing price. Look at that outsole. I actually tried a pair on size 11 and a half because these are 11 and a half. They're super comfortable. I would hoop in them. However, 11 and a half is a little bit too snug. I would need them in the size 12. So if you guys are looking for affordable Jordan 39s, the clearance stores have them. The only time I ever found them or in clearance stores. Did I mention that this spot got the book ones and they got the book ones for $60? It's another basketball shoe that you're going to start seeing reduce heavily. And then when they go, they go. This is Devin Booker's first signature shoe. They also got the Forrest Gump model. This is going for $60 as well. And these are still retail in some foot traffic site stores. Some of the craziest deals you're going to find is definitely going to be in extended sizes. This back wall, you're going to find size 13, 14s, and 15s. This is where you can always look up as well to find crazy amount of deals. There's not even a need to hold on to those shoes for 4 or 5 years because you can probably sell them immediately. But the goal here is to keep some shoes that's oversized, like the size 13s to 14s years later. Look at this Romero. Predominantly all vault, $80. Well, look what we found here. We found some airships in this unique colorway. I'm not even sure what colorway you want to call that. Size 12, my size $69.99. Ooh, I like the Nike Air on the tongue. This store is rampant with LeBron 22s. Influx of inventory of these LeBron monopolies. These are the 22s. They're in their recycled box to him for $100. Now I'm going to be real. I met a guy in this store. He's a supporter. I always run into him at this location. And one thing he told me that stuck with me ever since was every shoe sells. And I thought about it. I was like, no, that's not true. People are not buying it. But then when I had my own sale during the pandemic, I had shoes on my website that I was trying to get rid of. Even like hardened 2s that I played ball in that I didn't like because the shoelaces kept untying. I remember putting that shoe up for like something cheap as $20. No one bought it. It's now listed on eBay. And then it sold for like 3 times more money than I was trying to sell it to my supporters. Now, granted, eBay's bigger, it's a bigger platform than what I have as an audience. Obviously, I was able to garner more money. But at that moment, that's when I realized no matter what I have, someone's willing to pay for it.
That's why I started going live on Whatnot. I got pairs just like the ones shown in this video, and I'm letting them go under retail. Live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hit the link in the description or the pinned comment and tap in with me. And if you're new to Whatnot, you can save 15% off your first purchase by using my code, which is essentially the link. And I'll see y'all in the building tonight. I got tons of shoes I got to get rid of, man.
And if you're lucky, you probably get more money than what you paid. In some cases, you may not. For example, I bought these for a little bit less than that. Never rocked them. These are the Vomero 5s. Love them. Here's another Vomero 5. Don't have this colorway. And this is going for the same price of $80. Now, there's platforms like StockX and Go, and they can resellers that you probably will never meet in person. eBay is the longest running community for reseller, regardless of sneakers, electronics, or even clothing. It's the biggest e-commerce for used or new goods that you can resell for profit. Pegasus Waves, I am not mad at them. These are dope, gold and black. These are clean. They're going for $79.99. Still a whole bunch of dunks left in the building. They're going for $80, unfortunately. I think the price will come down tremendously. You got the Kyries. And I do believe Jordans are the lower hanging fruit for resale. Everyone wants to buy Jordans at one point in time. So if you find Jordans for a super affordable price, you can most definitely cop it. But it's not what I would sort after if I'm playing the long game. I would get items like Nike basketball, Nike comfortable walkers or running shoes, $100. Typically, you'll find these $129 to $160 in the factory stores. More Air Max 1s, those are $69. What are these, 2013s? I actually like this color. I'm not mad at it. $70. And we got the Giannis's. These are the Immortalities. These are the non-signature shoes. But like I told you guys, you can always find Nike basketball in the building for super affordable price. Nike basketball shoes do not sell through like Jordan Retros, unfortunately. And it doesn't even matter the athletes, Kobe to LeBron to Kyries to Paul George, all their shoes were sitting below retail, way below 50% off. What's good, what's good? And quite frankly, when you have pairs that's 3 to 4 years old, you really can pick and choose your platform. Now, if you buy from this store, you're not gonna get the lid like you see in those Jordan 38s. These Femeros, these are going for $80. This doesn't have a lid as well. So this is more likely to go on GOAT or eBay because you can sell it as is, but you probably would get a little bit more, if not double your money. Now, I'm not sure about these Monopoly, LeBrons, or this colorway of the Jordan 38s that's in for 100. Excuse me. But you could be that person now that have 3 to 4 years old shoes in your inventory and you can sell it for no problem. Sell them for your price. These trainers are super comfy. Own a pair, still rock them. What's the price? These are going for 60 beans. And with great power comes great responsibility. Are these Jordan 1s for $50? Here's a prime example. The Jordan 1 lows. You could think of yourselves like the modern day Robin Hood. You're not flipping hype. You're preserving value. By buying shoes like these that are discarded and no one cares for, provide them to someone later, maybe 3 to 4 years later, for a little bit more money than what you paid. The cool fact is you're not raiding shelves or creating chaos. You're literally in the confinement of what the policy allows you to do. Buying 5 pairs of one particular shoe. You're buying shoes that's being discarded and nobody wants. And you're paying a great deal. And like I said, you're preserving it. So instead of selling for $8 in 4 years, maybe you can sell this for $150, $160. And no one is mad at you. Because everyone in the store have the same opportunity that you have. Minus the capital. But if you don't have the $500 a month capital, you can always start small. Maybe start with $100 a month and build that up and build your inventory up to where you can reach $500 a month. Now, $500 a month is the max, so technically you don't need $500 to do what I'm talking about. These are $70. But if you could, that would be dope. Anyways, these are going for $80. These are Hustle 3s. These are size 11, not my size. I heard they're comfortable shoes. I like the colorway of those. We found more airships. These are going for $69.99, size 11. And right below that, we found another sighting of the Air Jordan. Oh, somebody hit me with a ball. It's all good. I'll kick it back. Oh, there we go. These are the Air Jordan 39s. I actually like this red color. The last time I was here, I think well over a month ago, these were available. And I believe they hit for the same price. Now, if this get below $100, I would cop. I actually like this 39. $100 is not that bad, but I'm frugal. I want this below retail. Not a bad shoe. So keep this in mind. You wasn't taken from someone who was eager to buy a pair of shoes from the Nike factory store. Not at all. You was preserving pairs for the future. For someone later who realized they actually wanted it, and you're not price gouging, you're offering it at retail or even less. I didn't know they had these all purple things. These are $69.99, not mad. And it looks like they got these LeBron 2Ks. These are all over the place. First sighting of them was last year around Christmas time. I found them in the Nike outlet, roughly around the same price, $250 shoe. No worries. Oh, we're starting to get sightings of the Air Jordan 1s again. These are the gold black metallics. These are $80. That's like the second Jordan 1 I have seen. High OG. We saw a low and then we saw these high OG. I think we saw a mob in the building too. I think a lady had it in her hand though. More of the 39s going for $100 though. I'm not mad this year. Super comfortable. $100. They've been sitting for so long, they gotta go cheaper. So I'm gonna hold out. I would like to get the red pair. There's nothing wrong with this shoe. It's Drake. These are 100. Baseball stitching book ones. Those are 70. Oh wow. Look at this from Arrow. Nice, classy. $79.99. I like this one. This one is dope. We got the pennies in the building. Those are 100. We also got a collab with Union, I believe. The Union Cortez, $109 is not the cheapest I have found them. I found them for a lot cheaper. Now the price went back up. That price has regressed. Look at these dunks. Those are 60. And here's the sighting of the Air Jordan 1 mobs. And look at the price, $59.99. Now that might be the cheapest I have ever found this pair. It's not exportation. You're preserving a shoe. You're giving an opportunity to someone who never had a chance to get it or circle back to get it in the future. And you're doing so without punishing them with ridiculous markup prices.
That's what makes this strategy different. You're not flipping hype, you're holding value. And when the time comes, you're meeting people at retail or less, not taxing them. It's smart, it's sustainable, and it's honest. It's the most ethical way to resell shoes in today's market. Let me know in the comments down below how I did. If you appreciate this video, hit that subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next building. Peace.